Hi everybody, so I just got this Wasted Creations corset in the mail yesterday, and I had emailed her and asked if I would be able to use this as an example for how to season or break in your corset, because there are a lot of people who have never seen my seasoning your corset video, or they have and they don't completely understand how I do it and why I do it and everything. So I'm going to show you how the corset looks like, absolutely pristine, and show you the changes day by day as I break this corset in. Some of the changes might include, slight wear that looks, that appears on the corset. And I can also document how it feels, because as you wear a corset in more and more, it begins to shape to your body and become more comfortable, more like a second skin. The very first time you put on a corset, as Grogan had mentioned in her very last blog post, it is not going to be the most comfortable thing in the world. And it's not going to fit exactly the way you want it to. It has to be seasoned, and over time it will become more comfortable. So you just need to have patience. But that said, the first few times you put this on, you don't want to put it on as tight as possible. So here's what the corset looks like close up, and I will be doing a review of this corset in May, so next month, but you can see how it looks like right now. And I can see here that the stitching is fairly neat, fairly straight. In the back here, you will find a lot of the wear starts around the grommet panel. You might find that especially around the waistline right there. Sorry, keep this in focus. Around the waistline right there, you might notice that the threads might become a little wrinkly over time. That is pretty much normal. If the grommets are going to be falling out, that's not normal, but I will document any changes I see over time. So this is what the corset looks like when it hasn't been worn at all. It was modeled on the mannequin, but that's about it. And I'm going to show you the inside of it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And the lining here, this is actually all hand stitched all around. So I'm going to be looking at this closely to see if the lining actually stays in place. Obviously the lining is not the most important part because it's not the couture, but I just want to make sure that it's going to be not tearing apart in any way. I've been receiving way too many emails and messages lately from people saying, I just got my corset this week and I am cinching down about 4 inches for however many hours, and I am getting muscle cramps, back cramps. I feel like blood's rushing to my head. I feel like I can't breathe properly. I feel that I'm getting migraines. I'm really not enjoying this. And what am I doing wrong? Well, breaking in your corset gently is just as important for your body as it is for the corset itself, especially if it is your very first corset. So my natural waist is 27 inches. Right now I'm probably a little bit more than that because it's my lady week and so I have some water retention today. But right now I'm wearing this corset at about 26 inches measured over top of the corset. So I have a reduction of about 1.5 inches today. I will not go any smaller than about 25 inches over the corset for the duration of the break-in period, because that's a maximum of a 2-inch reduction. Now, if you have a 40-inch waist and you are very squishy, you might be able to manage 3 or even 4 inches the very first time you lace down, and it might feel like absolutely nothing to you. Everybody's a little bit different. But for my own guidelines, I like to reduce 2 inches maximum for the break-in period. So for the next 10 to 15 days, every day, I'm going to be wearing this corset for about 2, maybe 3 hours a day at this reduction. But even though some very squishy people are able to cinch down 4 inches, and even though I usually cinch down about a maximum of 2 inches, there are some people who might put on the corset for the first time and notice that the outside corseted measurement is exactly the same as their natural measurement, and that's perfectly fine. What's going on is probably underneath the corset, you're cinched in about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches or something. Look at my other video called How to Determine Your Internal Waist Measurement. So even if you can't get any particular reduction on the outside of your corset the very first time you put on your corset and you're trying to break it in, don't panic. There's nothing wrong with the corset itself. You might be very muscular. You might have a large bone structure that is putting resistance on the corset. So don't force yourself smaller if you can't corset down 2 inches the very first time you put on a corset. But even so, there are people who are extremely experienced with corseting, and they've been corseting for like decades. Even though they can potentially cinch down 10 inches in their waist, they will still gently season their corsets with a maximum waist reduction of 2 to 3 inches, because they know that it is best for the corset, and it helps to maximize the longevity of the corset that way. What I feel right now, even though this corset is a lot wider in the back than I'm used to wearing with a lot of my other corsets, it feels deceptively tight. This is because the corset is rigid. The fibers have not been able to stretch out, and well, I don't want to say stretch out, but the fibers are not aligned, they're not softened, they're not shaped to my body yet. And as this happens, over time it's going to feel more comfortable, and I'm going to be able to lace down a little bit more. There are a lot of situations where when I'm breaking in my corset, it will look slightly slanted in the back. But as I'm able to close the corset more, and my ribs and my hips are able to put the proper tension on the various areas of the corset, it will begin to even out. But you do have to be careful about that sort of thing. Now, when I am lacing up in the back, the very first few times that I wear my corset, like the first 3 to 5 times, I'll notice in a lot of my corsets, one bone might want to bend a little bit more than the other. And I really want to discourage this. So I will stop quite often, and I'll push my back fat kind of in and evenly distribute it. If I'm wearing a silkier shirt underneath, and if I have a modesty panel, this is easier to do. But I don't want to encourage one of the backbones to curve a little bit more and the other one to stay perfectly straight, because what that does is it weakens the bone that wants to curve, and it might warp eventually. So it's a good idea to stop and evenly distribute the flesh and make sure that everything is as even and symmetric as humanly possible. Even though I have a huge amount of space in the top here for my rib cage, and a huge amount of space for my hips because it's so wide open in the back, I am keeping a parallel, the lacing panels parallel in the back, so that the bones won't warp and they won't want to make that sort of shape, because once again that might cause the bones to warp, to actually twist, become permanently kinked, and it will weaken it, and it might cause pain when it twists and pokes into the small of my back. But even though I'm sorely tempted to lace it tighter so that it fits in the ribs and the hips, and even though I know that I can lace it tighter, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it like this for the next 2 hours. Even in the 10 minutes that I've been talking in front of the camera right now, I am feeling that the corset is becoming considerably more comfortable. Alright, so this particular video is pretty long, but the next several videos you can expect to be considerably shorter, because I'm only going to be talking about how the feel of the corset changes on me over time as I'm breaking it in, and if there are any visible differences in the corset as I break it in more and more. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative and I explained the seasoning process a little bit better and how to season your corsets properly. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.